Hey guys, it's Dr. J here. Today's video is going to be on natural ways to enhance your testosterone, or if you're a female, these same ways will actually reduce your testosterone in a good way. So first off, testosterone is going to be very helpful for men putting on muscle, good libido, good healing, good recovery. Testosterone, a lot of receptor sites in the frontal cortex, so good neocortical function. Testosterone is very important for that. So obviously, good low-hanging fruits for testosterone. Oh, before we do it, smash that like button. Really appreciate that. Put your comments down below. Let me know things that you've done to naturally improve your testosterone levels. Really curious to know that. So first thing is getting enough protein. Protein is very important because a lot of your hormones are going to be peptide-based and steroid-based, and you need cholesterol to make your steroid hormones. So first off, protein. It's the biggie. Second thing is keeping inflammation in check. So inflammation is primarily going to run wild through junky omega-6 vegetable oils that are usually processed and oxidized, trans fats, and lots of excess refined carbohydrates and grains. Those are going to really increase insulin, increase more omega-6, and drive inflammation. High levels of insulin in men are going to activate the aromatase enzyme. Aromatase takes testosterone and it shunts it downstream to estrogen. And again, that same high levels of insulin in women will actually do the opposite. It will take estrogen and bring it to testosterone. It's the big switch there. And that's a problem. That can create more issues with women's hormones, more androgen issues, can create acne, it can create excessive hair growth, and then of course it can create ovarian cysts and throw off libido. It can actually make it a little bit higher in the short run, but can create ovarian cysts. It can also, in women, increase prolactin and decrease fertility. So those are all, real things that are potentially a problem. So on that note, we have that on the female side. And then on the male side here, we talked about protein, we talked about cholesterol, and then good healthy fats that have fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K in there. Egg yolks are excellent. Certain nuts and seeds like pumpkins are wonderful, very high in zinc and selenium. Oysters, really good, really high in zinc. Zinc's a really important cofactor to improve testosterone levels. So we love zinc. We love selenium. Selenium in animal products. Brazil nuts, wonderful. And then, of course, making sure we can break down our proteins. If you have poor digestion, you may not be able to break down your protein adequately and ionize your good minerals like zinc and selenium properly, and that may create deficits on the absorption side. So we got to make sure we're absorbing and breaking everything down and assimilating that. We also have to make sure that we're doing all the right thing with our digestion and eating good proteins, eating good fats, getting our good fat-soluble vitamins. Of course, our long-chain omega-3s are going to be excellent. Coming from fish is going to be great. Our EPA, DHA sources, excellent, really good out of the gates there. And then, of course, low-hanging fruit, sleep, really important. At least 7 or 8 hours a night. Try to get to bed before midnight if you can. That's going to be really helpful for tapping into growth hormone levels. And then on top of that, I would say there's natural things we can do on the supplement side. So, of course, a couple things I like is dopamine support. Grab one of my supplements here. So I like a product I have called Dopa Replete Plus. It's got mucuna, it's got tyrosine in there, it's got some green tea in there, it's got some B6 in there and quercetin. But I like dopamine because dopamine is one of those things that's very helpful. When you support tyrosine and dopamine, it can help improve testosterone. So I like that out of the gates. Also, I love ashwagandha out of the gates. I'm all out of that one. Ashwagandha is wonderful because it helps modulate cortisol. So if we have high levels of cortisol and stress, cortisol is going to antagonize testosterone. So definitely like adaptogens that can modulate stress hormones. Okay. Now we can also do other herbs such as eleuthero, which helps boost up DHEA levels. We can also do things like damiana. We can do things like tribulus, horny goatweed, Tongkat Ali. These are all maca. These are all herbs that can really help modulate testosterone in men as well. Again, we're not going to overdo it, but it's going to definitely help. Tribulus is one of those as well. And then, of course, just making sure we have good levels of zinc and selenium, all very important. If we're missing core foundational micronutrients and core foundational macronutrients, proteins and fats, and we're getting too much carbohydrate, too much carbs, too much sugar, we're going to have problems. Now, of course, the stimulation, getting good resistance training in, on the front and back side of your body. Of course, getting your legs going. So kettlebell swings are amazing, lunges, squats, doing upper body where it's full body push-ups, good rows, kettlebell swings, like I mentioned, any type of circuit training, whether it's a 10 or 20-second sprint, followed by a 30 to 60-second kind of relaxation, kind of high intensity, low intensity. These are great stimulations to put on muscle. Muscle then stimulates growth hormone. Growth hormone helps perpetuate testosterone's metabolic effects. So, of course, good lifting, good sleep, good protein, good digestion, and of course, having a lot of the nutrients that you're going to get from your organic vegetables, those polyphenols and those sulfur-rich compounds are going to help with hormone detoxification as well. And that can make a big difference. And also, high levels of bad bugs in your gut can create an enzyme called beta-glucuronidase, and that can impact how you metabolize estrogen. If we have impaired estrogen metabolism, high levels of estrogen decrease LH signaling in the brain. LH is that upstream pituitary hormone that screams to your testicles and your gonads to make testosterone. So if we decrease LH, that's going to decrease testosterone synthesis. So I hope that makes sense out of the gates here. Again, if you want to reach out to someone like myself, feel free to click down below. I work with patients like this all the time. And again, most of the women I see, they're going to have, if they have a hormonal issue, they're going to have high testosterone, which is a PCOS phenomenon, or they're going to have estrogen dominance. And then, of course, my chronically stressed men are going to have potentially low testosterone. So they kind of on both sides of the seesaw there. So feel free, you can click down below and schedule a consult with myself and colleagues. And I hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure you subscribe and put your comments down below. Let me know your experience so I can learn from y'all as well. All right, thanks. Let me see here. Do I have any questions out of the gates here, guys? Let's see. Let me check this out here real fast. A couple questions here. What do you think about organic meat supplements, especially liver for testosterone boost? I do like that. Orchid glandulars can definitely provide a nice little bump there for sure. Organ meats definitely can be helpful. Oh, also with guys, be careful of too high iron. So take a look, check out your ferritin every now and then, give blood a couple times a year. That's super helpful. Do Brazil nuts need to be soaked before consuming? It depends on how good or bad your digestion is. If your digestion is poor and you have a hard time absorbing a lot of these things, soaking it can be helpful for sure. I typically recommend getting 200 micrograms of selenomethionine per day in your multi so you can get access to it that way too. I heard that ashwagandha is not good for this with a thyroid issue. Would that be the case with men? Well, it depends. If you're very sensitive to nightshades, right? Tomatoes, potatoes, eggplants, peppers, that may be an issue. Again, you only got, like in my ashwagandha, you only got maybe like a gram or 2 grams of that there. So like from an amount standpoint, it's not a lot, right? But if you're really sensitive to nightshades and that alpha-solanine, that could be a problem. So if you're not too sensitive to nightshades, I wouldn't worry about it. I'm dealing with H. pylori and candida. So feel free, go to my website, justinhealth.com, type those into the search bar and you'll get podcasts and videos on those topics specifically. But yeah, you want to follow the 6 R's. Remove the bad foods, replace the enzymes and acids, better digest your foods, repair the gut lining and the hormones, and then go after and work on removing the infections. If you need help, feel free to click down below and I'll be happy to help you. What does DQ8 homozygous mean? So DQ8 is a genetic artifact that looks at, I forget what DQ stands for, but it stands for, it has to do with DNA. I'll get you the exact. Yeah, so HLA, it's human leukocyte antigen. And I don't know what the DQ actually means. Human leukocyte antigen. I'm not sure what the DQ part means, but there's different genetic variations. And like 2 and 8, they have variation for being celiac, have a higher propensity to be celiac. And then there's the 1, alpha 1, beta 1, and the 3, which increase propensity for gluten sensitivity. So yeah, it's definitely more of a genetic marker than anything else. Yeah, so if you have that, you really want to be careful. So if you're homozygous is present, that means you have both DQ8s. That means you're going to be like super chance of being like very gluten sensitive. I would say even celiac and maybe even autoimmune if you eat the wrong foods. So hope that helps y'all. Hope you enjoyed it. Thumbs up, guys. And I'm happy I can be here.